If
They've probably done that for a long time, I'm sure.
It might be tradition. They definitely stand out on the field. They're not going to be sneaking by anybody. You just have to follow those socks, and a first down for American Fork. We have to thank the Marines for helping us bring this to you. The few, the proud, the Marines. Rain, snow, they don't care. The Marines would be out here playing football just like American Fork and Mountain Crest. First down for American Fork. Up the center, and that's once again Franson just for a yard, maybe two.
Well, and that indicates exactly what I was talking about a moment ago. Both of these teams are just brawling where it counts, right there in the trenches, and that was just such a great play. As the rain falls, it doesn't get much better than this. You gotta love the weather, you gotta love the rain for a playoff game.
American Fork moving the ball, 2nd down and 8. Debbie's gonna air up a wobbly one, and that looks like it might have been caught by Muleman, and it was. That was one heck of a catch. That was beautiful. Let's take a look at this.
Well, Debbie throws up a duck here. Maybe it slipped out of his hands. The ball's probably getting pretty heavy by this time of the game. And, you know, the concentration here by the receiver is outstanding. Gets his hands on it, and then he just pulls the ball in.
Beautiful.
Not sure if I saw another bounce there at the end, but it looks like he had control.
I think he rolled that over, took it down to his back. That was a catch. Nice call by the officials, and an excellent catch by Muleman. First down for the Cavemen. Haas taking it around that left side, gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
How do you like his quickness? Haas just makes the quick move inside. He allows the momentum of the defense to shift outside, and then he cuts it back to gain about 5.
Nice look for them. So they are knocking on the door once again. A sneak by Debbie takes it up to about the 1-foot line, and no one saw that coming. He's little back there, so he just kind of followed his big man up front.
What were we talking about earlier? How would you like to be Debbie going against Olsen? And Debbie just goes right to the right of Olsen that time.
Olsen didn't see him.
Yeah, man, this kid Debbie is just, he is a great athlete.
He said, what was that little white blur that just went by? And it was Debbie, so.
Disappearing behind
once again, you see him, he's back there. Clean as a whistle, Debbie. He hasn't gotten the mud. This time, holding on the ball again.
And they go to.
And he pounds it. He got himself a touchdown.
Oh, man, the monster Debbie takes it in himself for the touchdown on the quarterback sneak to the right side of the line. So that is extremely courageous here. Take a look. They're going against the icebox. He goes to the right. They both go right, and they guessed right.
Wow.
If that wasn't too confusing.
On the right. We got you, Patrick. We hear you. This time, let's see what happens with this kick again, because not the strongest kick before.
Yeah, I just think it's really tough to kick off of this turf right now.
It's wet. We saw him drying the ball up a little bit ago. We can still see the rain coming down. The kick is up. This time it's up. A nice big kick, and it is through.
Yeah, he's getting it's good. It's through, and that's all you need. But did you notice how it still went up heavy?
It did go up heavy and came down even heavier. It's called gravity, Patrick, bringing that thing down with the rain. Up and through, and now we get to see 14-7 for American Fork. And it's interesting talking about that because we haven't seen them go for the field goals on 2 4th downs close in there. One of them turned into a touchdown. The other one was a turnover on down. So, yeah, you know, maybe he doesn't have huge range. And this is an interesting way to set that ball on the tee. Look at that.
Kick.
Sort of set up, and then he
just
boots
nails it
that
out
thing.
anyway. Wow.
A nice kick for him. Picking up the ball on the 10-yard line. Big hustle. He might be breaking this thing. Cameron Webb. Oh, one person to beat, and it was the kicker, and that was David Olsen, who makes a heck of a tackle on Cameron Webb.
Hey, if Olsen doesn't make this tackle, Webb is in the end zone. Look at the way the wall sets up here, and he just finds the seam and explodes through. Webb has made some really great plays here tonight. He is definitely their go-to guy for the big play.
Oh, man, and look at this. One guy to beat. Olsen holds his ground, a little shake and bake, and that is a heck of a tackle. He is getting some high fives on the sidelines right now, but some of the big dudes on defense, they're all out there right now. Maybe they should stick Olsen out there with tackles like that.
He's only 6'2", 185, so he's a big guy for a kicker.
1st and 10, and a nice run around the side. Once again, we're seeing excellent stuff by Brady Wooten.
Yeah, going to the air right away on a screen pass and setting it up. You know, it looks like Coach Wooten sent everybody downfield and then just found his son, who was a running back, in the flat. Nice gain.
Nice gain, 1st down. So they're answering after an American Fork touchdown. Mountain Crest coming out, striking hot. Both times they touched the ball on that run back, and now that first play looking good. I formation in the backfield for Brady Zimmerman. Receivers out to the side once again to Wooten, this time around the left side again, and he gets a few more yards, some hard-earned yards.
Yeah, Wooten is something, we heard about Solinger coming into this game tonight, but I didn't have that high of expectations about Wooten. And although you said earlier that he set over 800 yards on the season, we thought we'd see Solinger really making a lot of scampers, but it's been Wooten who's been the workhorse here in the first half.
Well, definitely. Now we see Solinger sort of in a fullback position, and we get to see Brady Wooten behind him, so they're using their weapons well here. And Solinger this time handing the ball up to Solinger up the middle.
He's on his feet.
Well, how in the world did he get through that line, that defensive line? He stopped dead and then just bounced out and kept going. You were just talking about him. A touchdown from Mike Solinger.
And I thought Solinger was the tailback. They set him up here at fullback. He gets through the line here, and it looks like he's going to be stopped, but he keeps his legs driving. He hits that hole hard, kind of wet. A lot of guys trying to arm tackle him. You're not going to arm tackle Solinger. And as soon as he gets in the open field, he explodes for the touchdown. And these two teams are going back and forth.
Now that is some great football action. Answering that touchdown with another one as time's running down in this second quarter.
It's going to see the extra point here.
Extra point set up. Braden Whiting is kicking the ball up and through for the PAT. That makes the score 14-14. The rain falling in Hiram, Utah. Mountain Crest answering the Cavemen with a touchdown of their own. Now we have to thank Wells Fargo for helping us bring this to you. Couldn't do it without them. And of course, you're watching this on Comcast Cable Channel 3.
Of course, Sean, in high school football, you're able to use the tee to be able to set it up on the extra point, meaning the extra point tee. It's not the same tee as you do for kickoffs. But that time, no problem whatsoever. I'm not sure what's going on with American Fork, but it just seems like their extra point kicker is having a hard time with the ball. But it's not as heavy as I thought it was based on that last extra point.
Well, I was watching Whiting kick for Mountain Crest earlier and has got himself a good foot, and that time not good footing right there as Kyle Durfee hits the Durfee as he picks that up, and he's not happy with that, but it is slick out there. Look at that mud on the field, especially this end of the field.
Yeah, with not a lot of time left in the first half, it's going to be curious to see if American Fork goes to the air earlier or just tries to grind the clock out.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Moving the ball well, not real fast for American Fork. Their drives have been pretty long and sustained. We've seen the quick drives from Mountain Crest. So yeah, not a lot of time left before the half, but both these teams have to be pretty excited at least to have 14 points apiece on the board. And this is a very exciting game thus far. We get to see Durfee once again that time. He wanted the ball again, got up off the turfie and got himself 4 yards. And now we see Haas carrying it up the middle.
Yeah, just playing conservative right now, ground game. Not going to try to turn this, well, of course not going to try to.
It's third down, called the timeout to try to save a little time on the clock. As we see 3rd and 4, they're hoping to stop American Fork and maybe get the ball in pretty good field position. But, oh, what a stick! That was an awesome hit by Jason Barker. Unloading. I think they got the first down on that, but that was a heck of a hit.
Hey, all good D-backs look for that opportunity when one of your teammates holds up a runner for you to come in and just level him.
Pop, and they did get the first down, but he paid for that first down. An excellent hit by Barker. We got to remember that for the hit of the game, Patrick. That's one of the biggest hits we've seen so far. So 1st and 10 for the Cavemen. Time running down before this half. Coming around this side, that would be Russ Bird, and not going really anywhere.
The story of the first half has been Mark Wooten, on the Mountain Crest side, Coach Mark Wooten's ability to throw the ball, even after throwing 2 interceptions. That's going to run out the time here. We got 1 second left on the clock. But on the other side of the field, it seems to me that American Fork has got a pretty potent running game to the outside, can throw the ball as well. This Debbie kid is the X factor in terms of you don't know what's going to happen.
That time it was American Fork with the timeout to try to get little hook and ladder, little pitch play coming around. But Mr. Bazant isn't going to go anywhere. It looked good, but that is going to end this first half of football. It's muddy, it's wet, it's awesome out here. Mountain Crest 14, American Fork 14. This is what the playoffs is all about. This is excellent football, Patrick.
That's right, and we're going to get more of it, more of the same hopefully here in the second half. Stay tuned. We have got upcoming halftime report, Sean.
That's right, Patrick, and we also have a nice look at Mike Zollinger, a running back from Mountain Crest. We'll find out about him during this halftime report. 14-14 is the score. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Will be performing a dance routine tonight. James will be performing Do Your Thing. Captains are Lindsay Cook and Ellie Reek.
Be sure to stay tuned for the hit of the game, brought to you by Abra Auto Body and Glass, where you get a free time report. Is brought to you by Mountain Midday Live, stimulating the front and back of the Wasatch, live at noon. Welcome back. Of course, the score 14-14, a wet, sloppy day out here, but these kids are playing some tough football. And talk about Debbie for American Fork. I mean, this kid is so strong.
Well, Debbie surprised everyone with that pump fake on 4th down and 1 to keep that drive live. Actually, what am I talking about? He got the touchdown on that. But both of these teams doing exactly the opposite of what I thought they would do at the beginning of the game. I thought this was going to be all about ground control. Turns out both of these teams are not afraid to go to the air, and it proved right in the first half.
And Zimmerman on the other side for Mountain Crest, quarterback, playing really strong as well. But just some good running either way, and then coming back with that real quick touchdown right before the half. I mean, that was pretty exciting. We're 14-14. This is the playoffs.
Yeah, these guys are leaving it all on the field tonight. Zimmerman, on the other hand, really connecting quite a bit. It seemed like he had his rhythm down in the first quarter, but then unfortunately he threw that interception, which turned out to turn into some points for American Fork Cavemen. Let's do a quick scoring recap. If you look at it, we had Mountain Crest Mustangs. Zimmerman toss that 55-yard touchdown pass, put Mountain Crest up on top 7-0. He did that to Cameron Webb. Then after the after the interception, Debbie threw that 4th down touchdown pass to Harward, and then Debbie on the quarterback sneak, which was amazing because he snuck by big number 51 to get in the end zone. And then, of course, the Zollinger TD to make it 14-14.
Now, we talked about big number 51, Jake Olson. This guy's all over the place, huge, right in the middle, plugging things up, forcing the other team to go around either side because he's big man, and he had a lot of great plays in that first half.
I like how Coach Wooten said at the beginning of the game, I have nobody over 200 pounds except for one guy. Well, that guy just happens to be 6'1", 320 pounds, and he is just, I'm going to call him the icebox for the rest of the night because it's a cold night, but he is really causing havoc. And if you notice, American Fork made the adjustments they had to. They got to go outside. They're going to keep the ball in the air, or they got to go outside because they're not getting anywhere inside on him.
Now, we're in at halftime as far as coaches talking to their players. What are they telling them right now? We've seen a lot of great action on both sides of the ball. Really, what can they do differently? 14 points each for them, and what are we going to see the second half?
Yeah, good point, Sean. Most of the time you got to go back at halftime and make adjustments. Both of these coaches have a great game plan coming into this, and both of these teams know what they're doing. I mean, both have great traditions. Big, they're cross-state rivals. Let's put it that way. They played each other 2 years ago. But I think what they got to do is more of the same. It's all about leaving it on the field. It's going to be who executes the best at the end, and once again, minimizes turnovers. The one thing about Mountain Crest that I get a little nervous sometimes with Zimmerman, the way he throws the ball, because it looks like sometimes he just airs it out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we know we are going to see some great football in the second half, but before we can do that, we're going to catch up with one of the star players here tonight, so stay with us.
This could possibly, but we hope it's not, my last game of my high school career. So, I mean, we're going to leave nothing on the field. We're going to be drag-out football and hard-nosed football the whole game, and hopefully it carries us to the win.
Now, we understand from your coach that you've had about 1,100 yards on the season. Talk to us about your running style.
I either like to run through people or juke, whatever they give me. I mean, if they give me a lane, I'll take it and run as far and fast as I can. I like getting in the open field and just taking off.
Now, what kind of touchdowns have you had on the season?
They've been short ones, big long ones. I've had like 80-yard touchdowns to a yard touchdown. They just all vary.
Have you played in every game this season?
No, I only played in 8 out of the 10.
Were you injured?
Yeah, I hurt my hamstring ligament. I hyperextended my knee, and I was out for 2 games.
Tell us what you like about football.
Just being able to go out and hit somebody as hard as you can legally and not, just that's the funnest part by far.
Hey, tonight you've got weather elements. The ball's going to get a little slippery. What do you think about that?
Just hold on to it the best I can. I don't really, that's the best you can do. I'm just hopefully the field dries out a little bit, but it's going to be a wet one.
Regards to the run game, and then of course depending on whether or not this weather deteriorates any more than it already has, that's going to affect Coach Wooten's dependence on the passing game.
And of course, when you say icebox, we're once again talking about Jake Olson, the big man in the middle from Mountain Crest on defense. And there's a look at the score, as we said, 14-14 in the snow-capped mountains in Hiram, Utah. Interesting night. We've already seen a little bit of rain. It's definitely cold out there. It's not cold enough to snow, but it is snowing up in those mountains just above us, and this is a beautiful view in this gorgeous valley.
Yeah, it's a beautiful valley here and a nice drive up from Park City. And Mountain Crest has got an opportunity to win this game. Both these teams, are so evenly matched in this first half, and they're both so well coached, Sean. It's going to see who wants it more.
Definitely, of course. Maybe that's what the coaches were telling them for the second half, because we've seen some great football. A couple of interceptions from Mountain Crest. Brady Zimmerman throwing those in. One of those turning into points for American Fork. That's a correction they have to make, but for the rest of the ball, solid play, real tough play. And I think those coaches were saying, hey, this is it. This could be your last half of football for the season, and for some of these seniors, their last half of football ever for their high school career. And this is kind of cool. Austin Haas with the run back and a little bit of daylight in between. He's taken up. Now Haas has run one back this year, or a kickoff, so excellent running and great field position for American Fork.
Haas has shown his athleticism on both sides of the ball throughout this game. He is an outstanding athlete. He follows the wedge here, and look at this blocking. Everybody, great block right there, and then Haas outruns the wedge and gets into the second. Well, if he's not caught there, he's gone.
And he was caught, ball in about midfield. You see, really kind of going nowhere. That was look at Mangelson with the ball, but he was running the wrong way. That's because Grady Smith came in with a nice tackle.
One good play turns another in this game. Both times, every time one team has made an outstanding play, the other team comes back with a response.
And we do have a flag down. So we're seeing some different things here going on, and that's not good to start for Mountain Crest. I don't know if it was a face mask or what. I didn't really see that.
I'm not sure who it was on either, because we don't hear a number up here on the top. They're not mic'd up. But we have seen actually a couple of personal penalties in this ball game, and you got to attribute that to the intensity of this playoff action.
Yeah, we've seen about 4 or 5 little mix-up play in the backfield, but it looks like Tucker Fraughton kind of coming up with the ball and gaining a few yards on that.
I think I see another flag on the field too. I wasn't sure from that other angle. But Tucker Fraughton, of course, had that interception in the first quarter, and that's really been, if you're going to look at any difference in the game, although this score is tied, the turnovers definitely led to points for American Fork.
And there was a flag on the play. We saw him picking that up. And we'll kind of keep you updated. That might have been a holding. I don't know. They marked off some yardage. I don't see the chains on the side as far as through the screen, but it looks like they marked that back. That's going to bring up 3rd and 16. As we're rolling into this.
32 on the tackle. That is Preston Schwab, and he just had a really great tackle.
All right, so 2nd down and 26 after that last penalty. Airing the ball up, overthrowing everybody. That will bring up 3rd and long.
Coming out of the halftime, or coming out of the locker room at halftime, both teams really kind of struggling to get it together here, get their composure and get their rhythm back. But definitely the leverage going to the Mountain Crest Mustang defense at this point.
Right now, and yeah, we've seen those penalties on both sides of the ball, kind of advancing the ball forward for American Fork and then bringing it back. So 3rd and long for them. Pressure coming in. Devi, very elusive, airs it up and overthrows his intended receiver again.
Yeah, going deep 2 plays in a row, and the coverage was there. Unlike maybe a couple of times in the first half, Devi being able to find his receivers in the flat, going a little deeper that time.
4th and 16. We will see our man, David Olson, coming out to punt. David Olson having a fantastic night. Kind of a difference maker in the ball game. Big left foot, and this time booms that up. And that's going to come down, and look at the spot for that ball. Now that's interesting because Brady Sayama catches the ball, and it was angled that way anyway, but Okay, let's call this. I don't know what would have happened on that.
Huge mistake by Sayama because he's focusing. He doesn't realize his placement there. And my goodness, he catches that ball on the 1-inch line. Should have let it go outside. It could have been a touchback because I think that ball would have landed out of bounds.
It could have gone out of bounds, and it could have angled enough where they would have the ball there anyway, but definitely mental error. Now they just have to get this ball out of here, and now to look at Zimmerman just counting it forward. He's just trying to get some breathing room.
Yeah, huge mistake. The rule of thumb is always if you're going to catch the ball behind the 10-yard line, let it go. Let it bounce and just see where the ball bounces depending on the coverage. That time, unfortunately, just focusing so hard on the ball, not aware of his presence on the field.
Wow. We'll have to see if Mountain Crest can dig out of this hole, starting from the 1-inch line. With rain still kind of lightly falling, the field is wet. We see the players are muddy, the ball is wet. Zimmerman under center, hands the ball to Zollinger, trying to get out of there, and they do. Ball close to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, impressive right off the bat. Three consecutive runs, pardon me. And, you know, it's just hammering the ball away, playing smash-mouth football. And once again, with a tie score, you got to look to the line of scrimmage is where the battle will be won.
It will be won, and right now, tough ball, 3rd and 1. Mountain Crest needs to get this first down because they cannot be punting the ball away and giving American Fork that field position. Zollinger coming in, handing the ball off, and holding on to that thing, taking it around and getting a first down for Zollinger.
Hey, did you see him run out of that tackle by Harward? That's pretty amazing. He runs out of this. But once again, Zollinger is one of those running backs. You're not going to want to tackle right around the shoulder pads. You got to hit him low. Take a look at here. Trying to get him high there. Just slips out of the tackle, keeps driving forward. He's got some really strong legs.
Gain of about 11 on that play. So strong running by Zollinger.
And running, most importantly, out of the red zone.
Yes, now they're looking pretty good. Ball on the 20-yard line. This is where they would have got it anyway if he would have let that punt go into the end zone. This time, Wooten with a nice little shake and bake around the right side.
Yeah, Wooten, definitely the workhorse in the first half of the Mustangs, getting his hand on the ball for the first time here in the second half. And it's going to be interesting to see what sort of percentage we see these two running backs get, because it looks like Zollinger, after that last couple of runs, as far as I'm concerned, is starting to get his legs underneath him.
He is starting to get his legs underneath him, and a touchdown as well in that first half of football. And this is fantastic football. The fans are fired up. These players just watching their intensity in practice before the game and talking to them before the game and seeing them as they come out. So far, coming out after the half, a few mistakes on both sides of the ball. Looks like just maybe a little overzealous.
Maybe a little flat, really, because, you know, both had just expended so much injury in the so much energy in the first half.
Little screen pass out to Webb, little lateral. That looks
Great
like
tackle.
Cameron Webb trying to get somewhere, and an excellent tackle, as you said, by Bird.
Yeah, Bird, nice open field tackle, because we know how incredibly dangerous Cameron Webb is when he gets in the open field. Obviously, a return, he's their big play guy.
He is their big play guy. 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs, who've been moving the ball well all night. I know I've said that, but they have. They're just really kind of mixing things up. -2 interceptions, which you cannot do, but kind of some quick strikes. Once again, airing the ball this time to Wooten. He's going to just put his head down and barrel forward for about 5-6 yards.
And I love that play. That's the second time we've seen Wooten on the receiving end of that play. Basically what happens, Zimmerman just gets back, gets in the pocket, looks quick left, drops it off. They send everybody downfield, and that's a great strategic play to get those first downs.
All right, we have to thank Wells Fargo for helping us bring this to you, as well as Comcast Cable Channel 3. Showing you all the best high school football games all season long. 1st and 10 for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. And we've been calling this guy's name all night, and that's a nice hookup. Zimmerman to Zollinger.
Yeah, and it's nice to see both of these teams. Of course, like we mentioned earlier in the game, we were able to televise Tentview earlier in this year, who comes from the same region as American Fork. And then we also had Box Elder, who comes from the same region as does Mountain Crest.
Brings up 2nd down and 1 for Mountain Crest. I like to see football players all muddy. They're loving it out there. They're just playing some tough ball in this first round of the playoffs, and a lot of great football left this season. Quarterback sneak up around the right side, really.
I think he's going to be short.
Yeah, that didn't, I don't know. It looked like Sean Bruning in on that stop, as well as a few other players.
Yeah, that didn't really develop. The penetration from the caveman was all over the place, and great gang tackling, able to hold Zimmerman down. Not sure. I think that's going to be short. Let's say they're going to bring a measurement out, so we'll find out.
It's close.
It's going to be interesting here to see what happens if indeed they don't make it. Timeout here by the refs while they bring out the chains. And but you've got two great running backs in the backfield. Reminds me a little bit of what we saw last week from Clearfield. Remember those two horses that they had?
Oh, yeah.
Once again, when you can be able to generate that much offense, and that definitely moves the chains forward. Critical first down.
It does. Nice first down. Mountain Crest, Zollinger with the ball.
Face mask.
I might have seen a flag come in there. You are right. That looked like someone got their fingers up in the face mask of Zollinger.
Now, the question is, in high school, it always kind of flips me out because sometimes we see those flags come out. That might be a hamburger wrapper. Nope. Holding.
Did you eat a cheeseburger down there in the field, Patrick, and drop your wrapper?
It could have come out of the press box because, fortunately for us, we're able to eat a couple of cheeseburgers up here. But holding. But you know, every once in a while, you'll see face masks to the high school level, and you don't know if it's going to be an unintentional one, which is a 5-yard penalty versus 15. But every once in a while, we'll see the zebras mark off 15.
And as you mentioned, Mountain Crest, such generous hosts. And this time the ball's going against Mountain Crest. So I thought it might have gone the other way, but it's not. So very interesting.
Well, once again, going back and forth, Sean, one good play turns into a bad play depending on which team you're on. Back and forth the whole game.
Okay. A little trickery true. Bouncing, really going nowhere. Wooten just kind of ran into a wall right there.
I think that was number 43 who was holding up everything there with the block, and Wooten had nowhere to go.
That's Muleman, number 43 for American Fork.
Good shot of Coach Mark Wooten right there.
He's not the workhorse, he's the work mule. Muleman. That's a good football name, too.
Long way to
second
go.
down and long, about 15 for Mountain Crest. Out of the shotgun
Here comes the
Zimmerman. Blitz coming in, pick it up pretty well, and he airs this thing up again, this time into excellent coverage downfield.
Harwood, the receiver that made a touchdown earlier in the ball game with a critical deflection here and using his height to his advantage. 6'3", going against much shorter receivers, and that was a dangerous pass by Zimmerman.
We don't want to see the third pick of the game. Third down and 18. So we're probably going to see him air this thing up again. Got to take some chunks off of this big hole they're in right now. They've been in a hole since the start of this drive, really, starting on their own 1-foot line. And then once again, pressure and airing up a duck, and they're kind of just throwing it up there again.
Yeah, coming flat after the running game was really starting to operate for Mountain Crest. Going to the air and throwing that, but look at the pressure. This pressure has been there all night long. If it's not one defender, it's another. Remember in the first half, we saw Zimmerman get hit like on 6 consecutive plays. That might be exaggerating a little bit, but I mean, at least 6 plays in the first half. Brings up fourth down. Kind of curious as to why they didn't stick with the run, because it certainly got him out of danger, pinned on the 1/2 inch line.
And there's a nice punt from Mountain Crest. There's a getting his foot on the ball. Haas coming around that side, and he's got himself a little bit of room. He's going to be taking it around. A nice pickup block. We're going to, oh man, that was a nice run back. That was interesting. I think I see maybe a flag down on the play, which would be unfortunate yet once again, but maybe a block in the back early on when Haas took it around that left side.
And unfortunately, that's going to bring it back. Haas, the electric return man that he is, and he is really having an outstanding game tonight, especially on the returns here. You know, he is so hungry. And look at that. You know, that
right
was,
there.
well, there was
maybe.
two
Couple
of them almost.
Back to back.
There was 2 of them.
A couple blocks in the back, and that cleared the way for Haas just a little bit.
Yeah, but Haas really impressing us tonight.
He is electric. I like when he gets the ball in his hands. You have to watch out because he can turn it on, as we have seen.
Who is the most exciting player right now? Is it Haas or is it Webb?
Both players solid. Haas obviously having a strong game. Webb as well. I'm liking Zollinger, Icebox. I mean, there's a lot of great players on both sides of the ball. And speaking of great players, a nice run up the center by number 45.
We don't have him on the roster.
We don't have his name on the roster.
And that's because look at how white his jersey is. You think he just got in the ball game compared to some of the other guys? We don't have him on the roster, folks. Sorry, we don't have a name. We'll try to check that name for you. But credit that to the offensive line. Great blocking, and especially against the Icebox.
We'll just call him big number 45. He got the first down in the play.
And look at
Gabby
that.
holding on to this, and I think Icebox was up there kind of in the middle with a few other players.
Well, plugging the hole was Jake Olsen against number 55 and number 59, the offensive guard and the offensive center, but he was double teamed, and he held up both guys.
And a shout out to Colton Glenn on that as well. So here you go, Mr. Electric around the left side.
And boy, that's going to hurt because he gets pegged and he goes sliding on that rubber out of bounds. But I think he gets enough for the first down. Take a look, he just strings this out, and Haas has had this play a couple of times, cuts inside and then strings out against the defense. One man to beat if he can turn it in. Nice tackle by number 12, actually, and both go sliding out of bounds.
First down for American Fork. This time Haas going nowhere.
Let's see who got the hand on that. That was a great tackle by number 6.
That was great. That was once again Colton Glenn.
Yeah, Colton Glenn just pulls him down, and he gets his hand on the jersey and rips him down. You know, with this cold weather, that hurts your hands.
And we call them Golden Glenn because the Golden Glenn, the Golden Boy.
I hate to say,
huge plays.
yeah, he looks like Golden Richards, a receiver that used to play for the Dallas Cowboys back in the 70s.
Sure, he'll take that. Anyone who plays with the Cowboys is a class act, as we know, Patrick. How's it look a run on second down up the middle for American Fork?
Unless you're a Redskin, 49er, or a Giants fan.
Or really anyone else across the rest of the country. Third down and 8 after they pick up a couple on that. Maybe 3rd and 7. Right around there. 3rd and 8, they'll call it. Debbie taking the ball around after a few fake handoffs, taking it around the left side, and boy, that was an excellent stop by Jason Barker.
Debbie gets lost behind the line of the scrimmage. It looks like the linebackers are trying to find out where he is, and he just pops outside. Makes a nice move to get outside, but then the open field tackle right there, and not a gain of pretty much nothing, maybe a loss of one. So they're going to be forced to punt, Sean.
Also, Cameron Webb was right there. If he would have shook that tackle off. Another big punt by this kid Olsen, who's got himself a foot.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
Two times in a row now that Mountain Crest will have to start within their own 5-yard line.
Yeah, we got to point this out. That is absolutely huge by Olsen. He pins the Mustangs deep in their territory for a second consecutive time. And let's not forget, he is a guy that made a touchdown-saving tackle on Webb. You remember?
Yes, he did.
Yep.
He stopped that touchdown that was coming up the middle, and he was the last guy to beat. He held his ground and had a great open field tackle. Zimmerman to Zollinger, going nowhere.
Going out, nice tackle, 59. He plays well as Ferguson. Ferguson also the center who's had his work cut out for him all night long.
He has. That brings up second down and 9.
Actually, check that. He's a tackle, part of guard.
Okay. It's like a 6-7 man front there on defense, knowing they're going to pound the ball, and Zollinger once again.
Yeah, look at the leverage of the offensive line, driving forward to get that. And look, guys, Mike Beck is really fired up there. And, you know, you can just sense the energy up here in the press box. These kids at the end of the third quarter know what's at stake.
That is the end of the third quarter. The score 14-14. What a game. Playoff action. Hang with us. We're coming back with the all-decisive fourth right after this. As we get ready to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, tie ball game. Definite slugfest going on, but both teams stalled in the third quarter.
Deep in their own territory, Mountain Crest. Brady Zimmerman, the quarterback, airs the ball up and caught. Nice reception to Cameron Webb.
We've been waiting to call Cameron Webb's number here. You know, he kind of went a little silent in the third quarter. He has been the big play guy for Mountain Crest tonight with some huge returns, and he is dangerous. Nice pass from Zimmerman.
Nice pass, and that gets the first down. Once again, kind of getting out of there deep in their own territory. Ball about the 19-yard line for Mountain Crest. And once again, someone wants to get on this, put some points on the board, because with this tie ball game, only 1 quarter left of football. This time handing the ball off, a missed tackle, but then the rest of the team is there. And that was a nice look at Brady Wooten, who was carrying the ball, but really going nowhere on that carry.
Haas makes the first hit, stands his ground, makes a nice open field tackle. Wooten spins out of the tackle, but then the containment catches up with him, and it looks like an incidental. And this is going to go back, because this is going to be 5 or 15 yards. This is what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes, and it looks like it's going to be 5 yards.
The 5-yard face mask. Oh, that's not good. That's Ryan Weiss getting carried off the field. Looks like that left leg is hurting, possibly a knee. They'll be checking him. That penalty goes against American Forks after the first down. They were second, so now we're looking once again, moving the ball, so 2nd and 5.
And look at 43, fight off the block.
Airing it up. Once again, almost another interception. Looks like just kind of threw behind the intended receiver on that, and that was Cameron Webb.
Yeah, Cameron Webb, just like we were talking about, the intended receiver to try to make something big happen, but the pressure was on, and that's exactly what American Forks going to try to do, to shut down Zimmerman in the fourth quarter, bring the heat.
All right, so that brings up now 2nd and 6 for Mountain Crest. Zimmerman dropping back, just kind of hucking that ball out again, and a drop ball by Zollinger.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes we've seen by Zollinger tonight. He's picked, had a couple of nice catches, a couple of good runs, but not really a dominating performance tonight by Zollinger.
Pressure again.
Good touchdown, too.
Pressure again on the quarterback, Zimmerman, and I think we have another penalty, maybe a late hit, roughing the passer. They're marking this one off again.
We've seen more and more of these penalties, and I think you can attribute that to really the fire and the intensity taking place on the gridiron. First round of the playoff actions, 2 teams tied going into the fourth quarter. It's all on the line.
It is on the line. This could be the last quarter of football for some of these players. That brings up first down from Mountain Crest. Moving the ball, bouncing off, handing the ball to Wooten again, kind of running into his quarterback and then taking around that right side just for a couple.
Yeah, and Beck there almost on the stop. It looks like Wooten ran outside of him. Kind of a misdirection, mishandled play in the backfield by Zimmerman to begin with. That play just really didn't have it going on from the start of it.
2nd down and 7 for Mountain Crest. Zimmerman under quarterback. He is the quarterback under center. He's having a fairly good game tonight, a couple interceptions. He's looking not to do that once again to Zollinger. And this time, I think the American Fork defense is really stepping it up already, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I believe that Mountain Crest has had an extremely effective game passing the ball, minus the 2 interceptions. But both teams, I think, a little bit tired potentially here in the fourth quarter. Came out flat in the third quarter, both teams.
They've given it all tonight. It is a cold night. It is wet. It is muddy. They're playing tough. First round of the playoffs, 3rd down. This is very important for Mountain Crest. Obviously looking to convert on this, keep this drive alive. And once again, a few players coming in, including Robbie Rafaiko. And he's putting a little pressure on Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman looking for Wooten on that play. Wooten was open, but he just threw the ball behind him because of the pressure.
4th and 7, Whiting back to punt from Mountain Crest. That's exactly what he'll do. A nice punt. He really got his foot on that. Look at that. Sends Haas way back. And that, barely 1 yard into the end zone. That was one heck of a punt.
Yeah, and wisely Haas allows it to roll in the end zone. Think about back to that play where Sayama from Mountain Crest catches that punt on the 1-inch line in the third quarter. Obviously, Haas probably had that on his mind. Don't make that play.
Heads-up play. Plus, he had no choice. That was about 15 yards over his head and still going. And then some. He was chasing that thing down. And it was a good punt, but the ball will be on the 20-yard line. American Fork Cavemen with the ball now. Their chance to put some points on the board. They have to go 80 yards to do so. And running for some hard-earned yards is Trevor Beck.
Yeah, in that counter play right there, once again going actually outside, kind of between tackle and end, running away from Jake Olson, the icebox, as the nose guard. The linebackers definitely have to step up.
Okay, once again coming around that left side, this time to Bazant. It only gets about a yard on that. They'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, and we saw the stop and the penetration by Rutledge once again from Mountain Crest. And then, of course, we see, Wooten all over the place, offense and defense.
Wooten having a fantastic game for Mountain Crest tonight. And as you said, we've been calling his name all night. Brings up a very important 3rd down for American Fork. Hand the ball off once again to Bazant, and this time it looks like he gets well past the first down marker, and that is huge for his team.
Yeah, and he moves the marker, but look at this. It looks like he's running downhill. He gets his shoulders popped, big pop there, one-on-one with the linebacker, spins out of it. Beautiful play.
All right, 1st and 10 for American Fork. Getting the ball back to them, coming around that side. Austin Haas for a few yards.
Yeah, and just going to the ground control game. Off tackle, between the tackle and in both times, except for that last play, running straight at the gut and the heart of that Mountain Crest defense.
You think they'd probably be running the ball quite a bit and try to do a long, sustained drive like we saw from them earlier. control the clock. It's fourth quarter. Get some points on the board, but also take some of this time off so Mountain Crest doesn't have any more time to do anything. It looks like a little jump maybe on the defense.
Well, weird thing. It might be the defense, but based on our angle and what I was looking at here on the monitor, looked like the center made a movement too, which would have been pretty peculiar, but it looks like it's going to be encroachment against the defense. Yeah, you know what, Sean? I will not commit to that because you would think based on the weather, these guys would have to want to get a long, drawn-out drive, but both teams aren't afraid to go to the air.
Oh, they're not afraid at all. We've seen a lot of runs so far. That brings up a short 2nd and 1. A pitch back to Haas, and Haas, fantastic, explosive player, picks up the first down.
Yeah, and Haas getting tackled a couple of times out of bounds on that rough rubber on the sidelines there. Probably coming up with a couple of skinned elbows. You know, Haas was running so hard there, I saw tons of, material coming out of his heels. And he looked like a cartoon character kicking up the mud.
Ball on the 50-yard line for the Cavemen. A handoff this time to Matt Beck with a huge run up the middle and a shoestring tackle to save the touchdown. That was Walton on that tackle.
I believe that was number 3 on the tackle. If it was, that would have been Sayama because he saves the touchdown right here. Beck hits the hole hard, and he is a big kid, over 200 pounds, and that's actually Wooten, number 35, on the tackle. That prevents American Fork from getting another score.
A great tackle by Brady Wooten, stopping that score, but now American Fork deep in Mountain Crest territory, and that time Mitch Beck carrying the ball.
Great block, by the way, following Mike Beck. Mike Beck just laid somebody out there on the right side, and we're seeing some big hits right now, Sean.
We definitely are seeing big hits, and this is time. A little under 6 minutes left. Fourth quarter, tie ball game. Mountain Crest, their backs up against the wall, literally. Ball on about the 16, 17-yard line. Second down for American Fork.
Looks like another penalty. You know,
coming in.
Mountain Crest proved how tough they are in the red zone, shutting down 2 drives in the first half of American Fork, actually making one go to the 4th down, and then Debbie got that great touchdown pass to his receiver, Harwood.
Yep, he definitely got one big touchdown there, plus Debbie snuck one in on a couple back-to-back quarterback sneaks. So they're getting close. Now that 5 yards against Mountain Crest will get American Fork even closer. Getting tripped up in the backfield. That was Matt Beck again.
Yeah, and then that time, Olsen coming up with another stop. Olsen that time, it looks like they're trying to do some counters, getting a couple of doubling up on Olsen, because that's what you have to do. They got to trap block in and then get Beck, who's a big kid himself. So Olsen's got to take on really about his own weight with those 3 guys lined up.
Yeah, this is as big as it gets right here. 3rd down in the red zone, American Fork, 4th quarter, first round of the playoffs. What are they going to do? They're going to hand it up the middle. Now, this is close for first down. I don't know if Haas got that, but he is darn close. This could be the decision in the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they didn't get it, they'd still go for it anyway. If you'd like to buy this game, give us a call, and you should, because it is a fantastic one. But it'll be interesting to see. They'll go for it regardless, but it looks like they got that first down, and this is just looking great for American Fork. Handing the ball off to, once again, Bazant. He gets tripped up by that big defense.
Well, Zollinger steps in and makes another outstanding hit. That's the 2nd tackle in a row that he's made, and Zollinger is as good and effective on defense, just like Wooten, as on offense.
Penalties killing Mountain Crest right now. A couple of huge penalties, Patrick, in the red zone. Another face mask right there.
Marches at half the distance to goal.
Half the distance, ball on the 4.5-yard line. And that is not good for Mountain Crest. Now it looks like it's first down and goal. Less than 5 yards to go, and American Fork is moving the ball well. Debbie hands the ball off, this time to Matt Beck again, pounds forward for about a yard.
Looks like he dragged Olsen that time. Matt Beck is a strong kid in his own right, and then gang tackle. But you know, nothing's coming easy against this steely defense, the Mustang defense here at home with time running out on the clock with their back against the wall.
2nd and 3, 2nd and goal, I should say, for American Fork. And back against the wall, I'll say. Right now handing the ball off once again to Beck. This time met by big Icebox again, and a little bit of everybody, but Icebox is in the bottom.
It's funny. I mean, obviously the momentum helped from everybody else, but it looked like Icebox Jake Olson pulled everybody down with him.
Well, look at him. Of course he did. He is a big kid. When he wraps you up, nowhere to go. Loss of about a yard, so 3rd and goal for American Fork Caveman. An excellent game for Andrew Debbie, the quarterback. A pitch out to Haas, taking it around the left side. Does he have the speed? And it looks like he does. The hands are up. That's a touchdown, and that is huge, Patrick.
Great blocking scheme to the left side. Look at the power that comes out the left side. And the only thing that this outside D-back can do, or the defensive end, is try to crash in and take out a couple of blockers, which he does. Unfortunately, nobody else there. And then the speed of Austin Haas gets him into the corner, and we're talking just the nose of the ball over that pen.
We're talking big time as well. Haas getting the go-ahead touchdown with the 4th quarter ticking down for American Fork. The PAT, now that didn't even make it to the goal post. That just kind of petered out right there.
Hey, Paul Olson looks like he just doesn't kick this solidly, and I was wondering, take a look. The tee looks like it's set up just fine, but somehow he slips his foot underneath it, and that thing just dived. You know, earlier
that's important, Patrick.
Yeah, well, of course, 20-14.
I mean, missing that is huge. The go-ahead touchdown, but only up by 6 now. Obviously, Mountain Crest, there's only 2:51 left. Mountain Crest needs a touchdown, but that extra point, if they do, could be the deciding factor in this game.
Yeah, you've got that right, and that's going to loom huge here if Mountain Crest can get a drive sustained here against a very tough American Fork defense. You know, a lot of these kids going both ways, so it's not like they're coming into this game cold. A lot of these guys, is that going to make it in the end zone? No, he's got to pick it up.
What a kick by David Olson. We've been talking about him all night, and the squib kick dies on the 1-foot line.
Think about what Olson's done tonight.
Holy smokes.
He's pinned the Mustangs back, one on the 1/2-inch line, and then another time on the 4-yard line. And then by that, just rolling in, allows the defense, or excuse me, the return team, to catch up to the ball to make the tackle. Very long developing play.
Wow, and that pins him in deep once again. That was an excellent kick. Olson, I mean, he is one of the players of the game here tonight. You don't say that often about a punter and the guy that kicks off, but man, he has pinned Mountain Crest so deep so many times with punts and kicks now.
Yeah, all night long.
All night long, and it's so difficult now for Mountain Crest to get a drive because it's so long. 2nd and 4 for Mountain Crest, and now they really need this. Zollinger just getting piled up. We have to thank the Truth About Tobacco for helping us bring this broadcast to you. If you need help quitting, call 1-888-567-TRUTH, Patrick.
Yeah, you know, none of these kids are smoking because they certainly wouldn't be able to keep their intensity on the field if they were coughing up a lung.
They could not be doing that, and once again, thank you for the Truth About Tobacco helping us bring this to you. This is playoff action, as big as it gets. The 4th quarter, a little over 2 minutes left, and Mountain Crest needs a score, need a drive, and that was a great tackle on Zollinger.
Yeah, number 43 has been huge all
That's our man, Muleman.
Muleman, you know, it's so funny because you've got to, I need to write his number down because he's not on my roster here, but Muleman, he has had pressure all night long on Zimmerman, and that time coming with a gigantic play and 4th down and short.
4th down and about 2, and this could be the season for Mountain Crest. This could be their final play of this season, and I hope not, because we have a heck of a game. I'd like to see a touchdown. I'd like to see more, and we're going to see more. A beautiful strike and a nice catch by Brady Wooten.
Yeah, who else? The money man, Wooten, who was definitely the workhorse in the first half, comes up with a huge catch to keep the drive alive, keep this game going, and Mountain Crest still has a shot thanks to moving the chains.
Thanks to moving those chains. Still deep in their own territory, ball on the 30-yard line of Mountain Crest. They still have 70 yards to go, and there's a look at a pass, and in and out of the hands of Fraughton. He actually had an interception earlier in the game, but he dropped that one. That could have been the game.
And that looked like a replay of the exact same thing we saw in the first half, because Zimmerman does not see Fraughton for whatever reason and throws it right into the numbers, but that time Fraughton doesn't hang over onto it, because otherwise that's a TD, and that's game over.
I don't know how you can miss Fraughton. He's 6'1". 210.
Yeah,
so he's a big kid, and he just was at the right place at the right time. Brings up 2nd down and long from Mountain Crest. Zimmerman out of the shotgun. Can he work miracles? Is the magic there? He has time to throw, and he does, and has a man, finds a man, and hits his man, Cameron Webb, for a huge first down.
Wow, and how big is Cameron Webb? All day long, he has come up with the big play, and it doesn't get much bigger than this with the game on the line, and Zimmerman delivers a strike, sets it up, and he's got a strange throwing style. It doesn't look like he's going to get that much distance on the ball, but he delivers.
It does deliver. It has a little tilt to it. This time switching the ball around, and he's got a good arm. We've seen it tonight. This time he's holding on to the ball. Zimmerman gets a few yards out of this.
Pass midfield, Sean, and that time he pulls a play right out of Devy's playbook. Remember last time, I mean, when Devy got that fourth down touchdown, he definitely just sidearmed it, or excuse me, cocked it to get a little bit more play, get a little more time out of the play. And Zimmerman doing the exact same thing.
You see a short timeout because less than a minute in this ball game. Patrick, this is coming down the wire. This is one of the best games. In fact, check that, the best game we've seen and covered all year as far as coming down to the line. And this is important. And Zimmerman's going to hold on to this again. He's taking it to the sidelines wisely, obviously, and he was pursued by big Matt Beck. He put a little hit on him, and that looked like it almost could have been
they're arguing
out of
about
bounds.
it. They're arguing about it down on the sidelines. The coaches of the Mustangs definitely want that. It looks like the referee's going to talk to him, but based on where the ref is standing, depending on while he's moving, I'm not sure if that's going to. That looks like it's short.
It is definitely short of that.
Looks
like
they're debating it. I'm not sure if they're going to. Did you see that? They're like debating the spot.
They don't know where they're going to put it, but it is third down, and they have a few yards to go on this. Zimmerman's dropping back, airs it up again. This time a catch. No, catch that. I'm sorry, check that. Not a catch. Now, I thought that was right there on the number for Cameron Webb, but he just took his eye off the ball.
I'm not sure what happened. Looks like he kind of got spun around here, and Webb had an opportunity to catch this ball. It's going down. Oh, you know what? He took his eye off the ball, and then it hit him in the foot. Then it bounced up. Then he got nailed.
The hacky sack play.
Yeah, then it got nailed. I mean, that was pretty exciting.
Oh, that was. I mean, not the best thrown ball either, but he should have had that. Took his eye off that, unfortunately.
Here comes the blitz, but they run it.
Run it right up the middle, Zollinger,
and you know you can't
pound it forward.
You can't forget about Zollinger. Zollinger got that great touchdown in the first half, where he just exploded through the middle, and this is going to come down to the wire. These guys, personal foul. Tack on another 15. Unbelievable. That's talking on the field. That's smash ball. I mean, that's smash mouth talking. You cannot do that when the game is on the line.
Especially because now a first down once again from Mountain Crest, so it's going to keep this drive alive. Now they're moving into American Fork territory, and they're going to have some shots at the end zone. The ball deep, the ball in the whatever 22.
Every player who watches this game, who has an opportunity to play in the playoffs, let that be a lesson to you. Do not shoot your mouth off when the game is on the line. That's the surefire way of destroying your team.
That could have cost you the game. We don't know as of yet. It is very exciting. Fourth quarter, Zimmerman back with the ball. He's going to air this up. He's going for the end zone, going for the little bit. Oh, he had it in his hands, and that was Sayama. Had it in his hands, but that was great defense.
Hey, Sayama maybe saving the game here for American Fork, making up for that disastrous play he makes on the return. Take a look at this. Let's see where the hands are. Oh, man, he got his hands on and deflected that at the last second. Also, 28 was right there.
28, and that's Trevor back. It was a nice defensive play on Sayama. Oh, man, bringing up second and long. Zimmerman back, airing the ball up again. This time it looked like his man Ryan Stromberg just fell down. He was on his knees when the ball was thrown.
Yeah, Stromberg turns around, gets off balance, and falls right as the ball is delivered. Could have been in Beck, though. Looked like he's on the coverage. 19 seconds left in this game. They have it in him.
3rd and 10. And they're just taking strikes at the end zone. You think they would have been running the ball a little bit because it was working so well for them. Obviously, you don't want to take time off the clock, run it to the outside, but a couple of huge passes, all for naught. Out of the shotgun again, we're going to see another pass for Zimmerman, and he airs it up. Oh, I thought that was caught for a second. Sayama again, and I don't know what happened. He should have caught that ball.
Yeah, take a look at this. He turns around, and I think this is similar to what we just saw a moment ago. Not from Sayama, but from the other receiver. He gets his one hand on the ball. I don't know what
behind him. It was a little behind him.
Yeah, he should have, both hands didn't get on the ball. Now we're down to 12 seconds, and they've got to go for the first down.
He kind of overran that route a little bit. Fourth down and 10. This is the game, Patrick. This is it. All the marbles. Could be the end of Mountain Crest season. Let's see what's going on. Zimmerman back, airing it up again.
And he drops it.
Wide open and drops it. And unfortunately, that's our man Cameron Webb. And that's not. He's just upset, obviously.
How ironic is this? That
he was our man of the game. We called him all day.
Cameron Webb was the big play guy, and he just got antsy and just just took his eye off the ball here. This is so critical to get this first down. They get one more play after this if he catches that ball, and unfortunately doesn't do it because they got to stop the clock to move the chains. But that's it. It's just unfortunate somebody has to lose this game, Sean.
Pretty close. Even if he would have caught that and been hit, it might not even been a first down.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
It was close. Obviously, they would have maybe had one final play, but that's all for naught. That's because American Fork came in, and with that huge touchdown by Austin Haas to put them up, he is the game winner. We have to give shout-outs to players on both sides of the ball.
Well,
these kids put it all out in the field tonight.
Yeah, you see that nice shot there, unfortunately, of Olsen. He looks a little stunned right there. Jake Olsen just can't believe this game is over. Somebody has to lose, unfortunately, and both of these ball clubs brought their A game tonight and laid it out on the field. Unbelievable performance, I think, from the coaches as well as both teams. And unfortunately, Mountain Crest comes up short, but American Fork's going to advance in the second round of the playoffs, the quarterfinal, Sean.
20-14 is the score. Hang with us. We're going to come back, catch up with the players of the game and the winning coach right after this. Be sure to stay tuned for the players of the game, brought to you by Park City Television, High Altitude Entertainment. Welcome back. We're here with Coach Knight, and congratulations on a big win. First round of the playoffs, and that was a tight game.
It was. It was an awfully good high school game. I thought that Mark had his kids well prepared, and obviously they came right after our running game in that first half. We didn't make a lot of adjustments until second half. I thought that the field conditions actually were pretty good. They've done a good job with the field.
Now, they have a big player in the middle, Olsen, and he was kind of stopping you guys the first half, but you guys came back out and did really strong.
I thought he kind of owned the football field for a while, and we tried to go wide on him so we could come back inside. And when we came back inside, I just saw that great big guy sitting there in our backfield. And at halftime, we did make some blocking adjustments. Coach Maurer did a good job with that.
Coach, your whole team played so strong. You talked about your quarterback, not big, but was out there trugging along. Everyone pitched in. The kicker, the punter had a fantastic game as well.
In fact, he could maybe be the MVP for his punts. And I thought that Austin Haas just had a great game as a junior.
Well, you picked our brain because Olsen and Haas are X Factor and players of the game. We'll be talking to them a little bit. Next round, Highland, you might be meeting up them. It all depends on what happens in the game tomorrow.
We played them earlier in the year, and they won't surprise. We won't surprise them. They won't surprise us. They're just off a good football team, but they've got to beat Spanish tomorrow.
Yes, they do. Congratulations on a huge win, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, hang with us when we come back. We'll catch up with the offensive and defensive players of the game and the X Factor. The players of the game are brought to you by Park City Television, High Altitude Entertainment.
We're back with our offensive player of the game, Austin Haas, man, and tell us first how's it feel to get this victory?
Unbelievable. That was our goal. Just get started off with a good win and then go on from there.
Hey, listen, you had a great game on both sides of the ball tonight. You had some big sticks, but really your running at the end of the fourth quarter and that touchdown was fantastic. Do you think you got the game when you got that touchdown?
I was hoping so. That was the longest 2 minutes of my life, and I couldn't take it over there on the sideline. So.
Yeah. What did you think about Mountain Crest tonight? Those guys definitely put up a dogfight, didn't they?
I knew it was going to be a dogfight from the start, and we just had to keep them in front of us, not let them get big plays.
Hey, listen, you guys make it to the next round of the playoffs next week. Highland or Spanish Fork for you. Who would you prefer?
Probably Spanish Fork, but either one will work.
All right, congratulations, Austin Haas, our offensive player of the game. When we return, we'll have closing comments.
The X Factor is brought to you by the Marines. The few, the proud, the Marines. Welcome back. We're here at the X Factor, the punter, and also on kickoff, David Olsen. Now, this is fantastic. It's the first punter who's ever won this award for us, but you had a fantastic game. You pinned him deep a couple times. One of your punts put him down on like the 1 foot line, and that made it real difficult for them to move the ball.
Yeah, just kicked it and hoped it went there. So I was aiming for the corner, so it went there.
Oh, yes, it did. Now, how about that last squib kick when you're kicking off? They didn't know whether to pick it up or what. It stopped on the 1 foot line again. Picked it up.
I was just hoping it stopped right there, and it did, so got lucky.
Well, fantastic. I mean, obviously, you just have a huge foot booming this thing all night. Kind of a wet field. Did this affect you at all with the wet ball, the field, anything like that? Didn't look like it did.
No, I like kicking in the wet better, actually. I've been kicking better in it. Last week against Provo, I kicked better, too, so yeah.
Well, congratulations. You are X factor of the game, one of the people that helps definitely make a difference, and you did. Congratulations on a huge win. Who do you want to play next week? Do you have a choice in the matter?
We want to play Spanish Fork at home so we can get our player Mitch, who was injured all year, his last home game.
All right, well, best of luck with that. Congratulations on a huge game, buddy. Hang with us when we come back. We're going to catch up with more of the star players right after this. Be sure to stay tuned for the play of the game, brought to you by the X Zone, voted Utah's #1 sports show.
We're here with the disappointed Jake Olson, our defensive player of the game. But, you know, Jake, we got to point out you had an outstanding game. It's, you know, disappointing for you. But first of all, congratulations for being a defensive player of the game, having an outstanding night. How's this feel right now?
It hurts. No matter how you prepare it, will always hurt. I love my team with all my heart, and I couldn't have asked for any other team to play on. Well, I love Coach Woot, and I love everybody.
Your team played so strong tonight. You know, it could have been really anybody who lost this game. It came down to the wire. You know, American Fork had to run away from you the whole game because anytime they came anywhere near you were stopping them.
Well, I've been working on it all season, and I've been getting better and better and better. And I'm going to give credit to our linebackers. They stuffed them, but I made some mental mistakes that could have won us the game. Offsides just ain't going to cut it. When they did run away from me, that's a great compliment to me, meaning they can't run on me.
Yeah. Well, listen, you had a fantastic game. Congratulations to you, and we wish you the best of luck in your future. And sorry for the disappointing loss. But once again, everybody, Mr. Olson, our outstanding defensive player of the game.
The play of the game is brought to you by the X Zone, voted Utah's #1 sports show. It's time for the play of the game, brought to you by the X Zone. American Fork has the ball. Debbie dropping back, shakes off a tackle with a stiff arm, a pump fake, and now airs this thing up for a big strike in the end zone.
Yeah, and you see two receivers there in the end zone, but he goes to Chris Harwood, who makes the tremendous catch, but fantastic play by Debbie to pump fake. Leave his man. Take a look at this as he rolls out. The pressure is immense. If he doesn't make this ball turns over, and this could definitely be the difference in the game. Look at that stiff arm by the 5'6", 160-pounder.
To Jordan Kohler.
Pump fakes, and then he finds his man in the end zone. He's 6'3". Harwood makes a great catch in the end zone.
And that was Derek Call that missed it. That's the play of the game. It's now time for the hit of the game, brought to you by Abra Auto Body and Glass. Zimmerman drops back, airs it up to Webb, and he is met by Mr. Fraughton.
And Fraughton's come up with several big plays tonight, including that hit, of course, the first interception in the first half. But Fraughton really lays his helmet into it. Take a look, Zimmerman telegraphs the pass to Webb, but Webb is a hanging duck, and boom, right there is your hit of the game, Sean.
That is your hit of the game, Abra Auto Body and Glass.
Take a look at it full speed once again from reverse angle. Zimmerman's going to just drill it, but he gets drilled because that's the hit of the game.
Hi, this is Kirk Herbstreit of ESPN's College Game Day, and you're watching the Wasatch Game of the Week on Park City Television.
Welcome back. Wrapping this thing up once again. The score 20-14. American Fork taking the win over Mountain Crest, and they're glad to get that because this was a hard-fought battle.
Hey, that's the way it's supposed to be played, isn't it? In the playoffs, leaving everything on the field. Definitely the most exciting game we've had all season. Beautiful to watch. Congratulations to American Fork. Those guys stuck it out to the end.
Yes, they did. Now, what are we going to see next week? Roll into the playoffs once again. First round is one thing. Second round, a whole nother can of worms.
It'll be interesting to see what happens after this weekend in terms of first-round playoff victories, but I definitely want to see Davis or Springville next week, so one of those the two teams are on our radar.
All right, well, that sounds good. For Patrick Colville, I'm Sean Smith. We also have to thank Todd Hogart and Josh Greenbaum for all their hard work. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.